when they pull into the park just to do maybe a walk around the bay or go to the spray park, and then they come over to see what's going on the other side of the park. It's like, wow, I never heard anything about it.
Yeah.
But,
well, we'll do what we can to get the word out, too.
Thank you all. I really
awesome.
appreciate it.
That's a wonderful
problem. We'll make a little ad for it tomorrow, too.
Okay.
And I'll just basically say what's on the flyer.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for being here, Valerie.
Thanks, Valerie.
Come back and see us anytime,
sure.
too.
Thank you.
Anytime you have events that are going on, email me them and I'll make an ad, and we'll schedule you to come in on one of the shows that are on throughout the day. Even if it's not this one, we'll get you in there.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joellen, for bringing her. She's the silent person in the background.
Silent partner. Huh?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies. It was nice meeting you.
Thanks, Valerie.
It's good to see you, Joellen.
Talk
guys.
to you soon.
Bye-bye.
So, it's just my mic that's scratchy.
Uh-oh.
So I might need a new mic.
You want mine?
No, not tonight, but I'm going to have to work on it tomorrow. That's okay. Nah. Thank you, Misty. Really, it's my voice is scratchy. I have poor communication skills. So we're talking about communication tonight with our lovely sponsor, Hairspray Holly.
The mic.
I made your name into a first, middle, and last name. Hairspray Holly.
As it should be.
Yes. So if you want to get something monogrammed, I'm just saying.
It's better than pedicure, Holly.
It is.
or bikini wax, Holly.
Thank you.
Plucking.
Thank you.
Plucking Holly.
Honestly, they called me that in beauty school.
That's
because
where
of the
what you
amount
told me.
of hairspray that I would use on. I love hairspray.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
And I keep forgetting to get mine. How many times have I been there? I forgot again.
One? Oh my gosh, I failed as a hairspray.
No, don't say that. It was my fault. So we're talking about communication tonight. So what is effective communication? It's understanding the emotion and intention. It's also a two-way street. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Holly, your take?
Well, I think just being engaged in the conversation, active listening, repeating what somebody is saying to you, making eye contact.
Not trying to have another conversation while
not
you're
looking at your phone. Texting. Basic things like that. I mean,
etiquette.
Etiquette, exactly. When I'm communicating with someone, I'm watching every aspect of their being, their eyes, their body language, their inflection, their tone of voice. There's a lot you can pick up from people. And
do you think everybody does that? Do you think everybody is aware of all that? No. You're very observant. And possibly women more so than men
definitely.
are.
I think so.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Although my husband's a really, really good communicator.
That's good.
Yeah, he's very good. He's a very good communicator. And I think, too, part of communication is setting an expectation early.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Setting a boundary and setting an expectation.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I have to agree with that. Because how would I know that would upset you unless we had that talk?
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like my husband will say to me, is something bothering you? No. Tell me now because we will not revisit this.
That's
so if
what he
there's
says?
something wrong, tell me now. Hey, man. All right. We get it out.
Yeah.
And then I don't harbor
then you
it.
move on, right?
Then I move on.
Because once you start holding things in, then it turns into resentment, and then a whole bunch of stuff comes out.
And you start creating stories about
Right.
what you think people think, or you think what they meant, and that's not even what it is at all.
And you read more stuff into their texts.
Exactly.
I'll be late tonight.
Or emails.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's going to be late tonight. Yes, I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
So definitely a two-way street. And my husband is in fact, my husband really at home is a better communicator than I am. Steve, if you're listening, bless your heart. Because I talk all day some days, and when I get home, I'm pretty much done. But I'll talk to him for a little while, and then I'll say, all right, I'm done now. If you want to keep talking, have at it.
Your husband is a good communicator.
He is a very good
He's
communicator.
a super nice guy, too.
Sometimes things don't come out right, or maybe I hear them wrong, which is another part of communication.
Right.
If I say something to you, don't read into it more. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd be more apt to say, I'm fine. And Brandon will say, okay, that's what you're saying,
Yeah.
but that's not what I'm seeing.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm
It's
not
the
ready
same
to
thing like
talk
nothing.
about it.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's better not to talk about something right away.
Right.
Right.
That's me.
If
I
you're
need
too raw.
time to think about it and process it. And
Yes.
is it really bothering me? Is that what's really
Is it
bothering
wha-
me? Or
yes.
is it something else maybe that stems from something he said or something that happened? Yeah, it's better for me to take time and think about what I want to say.
Right.
Because
I have to
I'm
agree
a
with that.
developing communicator. That's the way I like to think of it. I'm a developing communicator, and that I don't always say it right the first time. So I need to say it in my head. I need to say it out loud to myself. Is that coming across right? And is it, especially if it's something important?
Yeah.
Because nothing worse than having to go back and try to take it back.
No, that's not what I meant.
That's exactly.
Right. And
exactly.
that's why I think, you remember you used to make fun of me for that. When somebody asks me something that I don't know exactly how to answer them, I will think before I answer, because I don't want it to come across
right.
badly.
Right.
Yeah, and that does drive some people crazy. It drives my husband crazy. Answer me. Well, just a minute.
You know, what's interesting is that certain personality styles, it takes them longer to process
Right.
information. Like, are you guys familiar with the DISC? DISC?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a super high I. And it takes me only about 3 seconds to process information. But if you're an S or a C, it takes you on average 7. Because it's a little
That's
bit
a
huge
bit
difference.
different.
It is.
It doesn't mean that you're not smart, you're right, or you're not, but it just takes you're just thinking about it. Where an I or a D will like, bleh.
Not necessarily a higher intelligence, though.
No.
That's what we like to think.
No,
but
no, no,
it's just
no.
more an intense.
Not at all.
Intelligence.
It has really nothing
There I
to
go.
do with
I just felt
intelligence.
myself doing it. I just felt. Yes.
Yeah.
I was. Yes, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm going to have to read that. That sounds like a good book.
Yeah.
And then there's all kinds of different communication, and all of them are so equally important. Like between friends, nothing ruins a friendship faster, ruins a marriage faster, ruins a relationship between a parent and a child, and vice versa, or a business partner, or any, than lack of communication.
Right.
If you care about that person and that person is part of your life, then communication should be a priority.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why do you think that's true, Julie?
Well, out of respect for the other person. I think a lot of times, this is my own personal view, let me see what you ladies think too, is that a lot of times our lack of communication is because we're so busy trying to get what we want. I'm not going to get left out here. You're not going to screw me over. I'm going to get what I want. And then if they don't give us what we want, then we think there's something wrong with them. When maybe we can give ourselves what we want. Because we can't expect we can't expect other people to take care of all of our needs for us.
Right.
No,
Should
and there's
never be that
another
way.
communication. That's you're absolutely correct.
I can't expect my husband to make me happy.
No.
Right. If you're not happy within.
And you know, I was divorced, and it was really sad for me because I thought we always got along just fine, and we talked, I thought, enough. And when I asked him why, and he gave me all these lame-o little things that I did, that if we would have talked about them one by one,
Right.
they would have never gotten
Escalated
big.
to that point.
And I looked at him and I went, oh my God,
Yeah.
you're right. There is no fixing this. There's 15 years of this that you've been holding in. And it was stupid stuff like, should we get wall-to-wall carpeting or leave the hardwood floors? I thought he wanted carpeting, I wanted hardwood floors. So I thought I compromised and got wall-to-wall carpet samples made with rolled edges in the living areas and left the high traffic parts bare wood so that the kids, so I wouldn't have to be scrubbing carpet all the time. I thought that was no, it evidently wasn't.
Well, fully on him for not telling you.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's his issue,
Yeah.
not yours.
But I was shocked. So all these years of resentment had built up when it could have been solved. That's why when you have a problem, get it out
Yeah.
and think about it so that you're not mean.
Right.
If unless it's a relationship that you want to end, then
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter how mean you are. But if something's bothering you,
Yeah.
say it.
Amen. One thing that's worked for me is that if I try not to attach myself to my perceived outcome. I let that go. Therefore,
That's
I don't have
important.
any expectations. I'd like it to go this way, but it might not.
That's wonderful.
Is that going to ruin? That doesn't work all the time.
I was going to say that's
Right.
very hard to do.
It's very hard
I've heard
to
that
do.
concept before, and I understand it, but implementing it
Amen,
is another.
sister. Yeah, it is hard
Right,
to do.
right.
So you have to let go of your perceived expectations of how they're going to act. Because you can't control how
Right.
they're going to act. I can only control my perception and my meaning of what you said.
Right, exactly. But you can ask me to clarify.
Absolutely.
And that's good communication.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And that's true of all facets of communication. Even if you're at a meeting with a bunch of business meeting with other people and one guy isn't saying something that you're comprehending,
Right.
you want to understand.
Right.
And people have different communication ways. I guess it should be ways of to communicate.
Say it with a V.
Styles.
Ways to communicate. They have all different ways.
Ways to communicate. Hey, what about this one?
Let's hear it.
Can I throw this one out
Yeah.
there? What about communication with yourself?
I talk
Research
to
tells us
myself
that
all the
80%
time.
of what we say to ourselves is negative. 80%.
Oh,
I can't.
80%.
Yeah, I won't.
Wow.
I can't do that. I'm not smart
I'll
enough.
never get this done.
Yeah. Well, so what are you telling yourself? You may shoot down dreams before they even get out of the gate.
Right.
Not based on anyone else or any outside circumstances, but what I tell myself that I'm capable of doing and being and becoming.
Right. Have you've heard, I'm sure, of mirror work?
Oh, I
Louise
have.
Hay, yes.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of times when I don't feel very, when you're a solopreneur, there's times when I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And I really get down on myself sometimes, but I was a coach for Girls on the Run.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we did was negative self-talk. And this is so silly, but it has helped me so much. And whenever I hear myself go, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, those things, I'm too fat, I'm too old, all those things, I go, meh, because that's the sound that my team made up.
Wonderful.
And as soon as it starts, as soon as I catch, I do that loud and I start laughing and I'm okay then.
You cancel it out.
Yep, I cancel it out.
Good for you.
80% though.
80%. Isn't that amazing? Or the
It's
story
kind
that
of scary, really.
or the story that we tell ourselves that maybe good intentions from parents or spouses or friends or teachers or whatever said that the capability. I remember I had a professor in college, PhD, published professor. He said when I was in 8th grade, I had a teacher tell me that I'm too stupid to do anything, that I'll never be anything more than a janitor. I'm like, wow. He said, yeah, if I would have believed her, I wouldn't be here, would I? I'm like, no. But how many people believe that? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's sad too.
I know. And then we internalize that. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not even be on a conscious level, but it's on my unconscious thought, which is okay. Which part of my brain has more power, my conscious thought or my unconscious thought?
You're unconscious. Yep.
That's why that mirror work is so important,
Right.
Because you bring it from the
And
unconscious
I
to
have
the frontal lobe.
some mornings when I do it after I walk. See, there goes
I
my.
heard the scratch.
There, is that better now? That I do it in the mornings when I feel. Now I don't every morning, but when I'm feeling like, maybe something bad happens, maybe a sponsor backs out, things like that.
Sure.
And I need that boost. There's nobody to give me that boost, and there shouldn't have to be. And it's me. I shouldn't have to have anybody give me that boost.
Right.
It's up to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And So here we were talking about body language. Give us that statistic again.
55